Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best advice is concise business advice. So we're going to jump right into it with our first question. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, thanks for having me on, Keith. So this is Joe Griffin, and I am the CEO of TrueNorth Wealth. We're a financial planning firm. We have offices in Boise, St. George, Logan, and Salt Lake.
Awesome. So it sounds like you've been around a lot and learned a lot. So we're excited to hear some advice that you might have and some of your experiences.
Yeah,
So question number 2, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
One of my personal favorites is just kind of the level of influence that I have, whether it's with our clients and kind of mastering their client experience or with our employees. Ultimately, I'm helping to guide a team. And in our industry, we're relatively large. And so having that many people that are kind of counting on me, relying on me, watching me, that's very fulfilling and certainly an extreme responsibility and mantle, but it's been extremely rewarding over my career.
You kind of get both of those, the responsibility, but also the enjoyment of seeing things happen and making a difference. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to balance those a little bit. Well, good. Question number 3. I hear from other leaders that their people strategy in their business can often be more difficult, more complex, if you will, than their business strategy. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would completely agree with that. We've had some big shifts from when I first started to kind of to date as far as our company culture. That is so cliche, and I think we're all relatively sick of that. But in all honesty, it makes a huge difference. The attracting the right talent and keeping the right talent. If we can control that culture and make our jobs actually enjoyable instead of just bearable.
Well, it sounds like you've really kind of taken more of a proactive approach of developing that culture, which a lot of companies don't do. And like you said, it makes a big difference when you do it more proactively. So that's awesome. All right. Question number 4. What strategy would you like to share with other business leaders?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things I've learned over my career is oftentimes when you're reading things or talking to people, right, we view owning a business and entrepreneurship, we just view it as, taking risks. And certainly there's much of that goes into growing and starting a business. But I guess one of the things that surprised me is how many things that I say no to. A business is a living, breathing organism, and it's very easy to suffocate. And it's just as important to learn to say no as it is to say yes. Certainly in our world, certainly our industry, and just growing a business, starting a business in general, it always starts with a yes. It does start with risk. Risk is associated. It's a part of the picture. It's a part of the journey. But my advice today to anybody in the business world is just to be careful about the amount of yeses. Certainly as the business grows, as it develops, it can be very easy to suffocate. The more people we've added to our team, we have more ideas, we have different directions that people want to take the business. And so there's more pulling and shifting, potential shifting and pulling. And so it's my job just to make sure that we ultimately just stay on the right course, and that the business grows and we stay true to kind of our direction. So I end up saying no quite a bit.
Well, you make a good point because you have a finite amount of time and you do have to conserve your energy and stay focused. And most people that I find, particularly in helping industries, whether it's financial helping or healthcare or whatever, helping personalities, and they want to say yes to everything because that's their personality. They want to help. They want to be helpful. But man, it's so easy to get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. Well, great advice. And question number 5 then. What other successful business owners or CEOs would you like to acknowledge here, or you think would be good on the podcast?
Yeah. So, I mean, the few, just to name a few that I kind of follow, I really enjoy some of Jimmy Rex stuff. I mean, he does his own podcast and stuff, but he's an influencer and has some great stuff. Mark Smith is another one that lives in Utah and I think has some great content. And then Jared Olson, another one just in Utah that I feel like gets it and understands and puts out some good content as well.
I know of all of those, and I know some in particular. And yeah, there's great content, like you said, but also great examples of leaders. So yeah, we'll have to look at maybe getting them on the podcast as well.
Yeah,
that's a great shout out. All 3 of those. All right. Just a 6th and kind of final fun question. Tell me about your favorite past boss.
I mean, that's kind of a tough question. I ended up thinking on that longer than I imagined I would. But ultimately, what I came up with for that question is when I was early 20s, I ended up working for a company where 5 friends got together, started an alarm business, and really grew an impressive company in a matter of a few years. The company overall, it didn't thrive, it didn't do well, and some might look at that and say, you know, they failed. But still being friends and having a deep respect for each of those 5 owners, I have a complete and deep respect for their journey. They all went on to do amazing things, and I haven't specifically asked them, but I would feel comfortable saying I know for a fact that business was not a failure. Those 5 learned a ton about business, and it just was a catalyst into their career. So I bring that up just to say that I have a deep admiration for any group or individual that goes and attempts to start a business, no matter how far they get, no matter if it fails or what, it's still an enormous experience, and they or anybody involved in something like that would learn so much.
Well, and life's about really a journey, and yeah, sometimes those failures or would-be failures teach us a lot more than the successes.
Yeah, exactly.
And most people that have started multiple businesses, they're not all home runs. There's a lot of them that 2 or 3 or half of them, are failures, and then they learn from those, and that's how they get to the big home runs, if you will.
Yeah, so, exactly.
That's really cool. Well, it sounds like you've learned a lot from them as well. So, and it's influenced your career. So,
absolutely.
Hey, it has been great having you on today and talking with you. Before we leave, can you tell people how they can get a hold of you or find you?
Sure. So TrueNorth Wealth is the name of the business. We do financial planning. We're a fee-only group, so we don't deal or dabble with commissions of any kind. So yeah, if people kind of have a complex or high net worth picture and they're interested in having us look at or help with their creating a financial plan, we'd love to help anybody. So it's TrueNorth Wealth, and that's TrueNorthWealth.com. And then, of course, our phone number is 801-274-1820.
Awesome. Great information that you shared with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. Have a good day.
You too. And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. And for more insights, you can follow us on iTunes, at Weaver Business Coaching, or on LinkedIn. And we wish you the best success.